So I'm currently 24 years old. I was studying animal behaviour at university in Cambridge. When I was 20 years old, I found a lump in my neck and got it checked out, and it was diagnosed as thyroid cancer. So yeah, I was in the middle of my degree when that happened, so I kind of had to put everything on hold to go through treatment, and I ended up having 2 operations and a course of radioiodine treatment, and then it was okay, but then a year later I went for a routine scan and found out that it had spread to my lymph nodes, so I had to go back in for another operation and had 22 lymph nodes removed and another course of radioiodine treatment. So yeah, over 3 years I had kind of prolonged treatment, and it was really a hard time. So my uni advised me to defer because I ended up missing 10 weeks, but I didn't want to just sort of sit around feeling sorry for myself, I guess. I wanted something to kind of concentrate on and work towards, so I carried on with my degree, and I ended up graduating with a first. So around about the same time I was diagnosed, actually, I got a ukulele, and I sort of started teaching it to myself, using kind of YouTube and stuff like that. And I then got into songwriting through kind of needing something cathartic to kind of help me through things. So I started writing about my feelings and what I was going through, and it really helped me kind of process things, and through that kind of developed my style and stuff like that, and ended up releasing a song about my treatment. I think so. I mean, I've had feedback from it because I've met people through kind of cancer charities and stuff who have said that it's kind of, they relate to it a lot, and they feel the same and things like that. So it was nice to know that it kind of it connected people through something that wasn't very nice, but it brought us together in that way anyway. I think at that kind of age as well, I mean, I was 20, I was kind of on the cusp of the rest of my life, really, and it was really hard to kind of have to put everything on hold and sort of see my friends moving on and, getting jobs and moving out and things like that, and I kind of had to just stay put, and I felt like I sort of gave up autonomy of my own life, really, in a way, because I was having to plan my life around appointments and things like that rather than fitting those into my life. I heard about Willow through Click Sergeant. I got assigned a Click Sergeant social worker who mentioned Willow and put me in touch with Zoe. That was it, really, and Zoe was absolutely amazing. I really honestly can't thank her enough. It was so accommodating. She tried to make sure that I was going to have a day that I really enjoyed, and it was really kind of catered to what I wanted to do. Initially I asked to meet Ariana Grande, but that just wasn't possible, so it was quite hard, I think, for Zoe to organise things and stuff, but she ended up organising something that I really loved doing, which was a day in the recording studio, practice rooms in Stevenage, where I could record another song that I wrote, because music really helps me through things. So yeah. So my day involved me going to the studio and running through the songs that I wanted to record. So I had 2 songs that I wrote that I really wanted to record professionally, and just recording them basically with different instruments, so guitars and drums, and some of my friends, Jack and George, came along to help out with the instrumentals, and then I sung them, and the studio was brilliant, actually, in the kind of production side of things, making sure that the songs were what I wanted and things like that. And yeah, it was such a good day. I definitely learned that I'm incredibly passionate about music. Music is something that I can excuse me, music is something that I can really lose myself in, and it kind of takes away everything that I'm worrying about, because I really have to focus on it. So it allows me to concentrate on something other than the things that maybe aren't so great right now. Definitely made such a positive difference, because it gave me something to look forward to, and I think that is really important when you're kind of going through something really isolating and dark and scary. Giving people the opportunity to look forward to something that they know they're going to enjoy is so important, because it makes you realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and things aren't always going to be so bad, and there are people around you that are there to support you. And that I would have found it really hard to get through my treatment without having those things to kind of look forward to, and without having those people around me to support me. I always remember finishing the songs, and then, because I didn't hear them when I was kind of recording them, obviously I was singing them and hearing them, but I hadn't heard them all together, and just kind of sitting in the studio, and then they played the songs and we were all like, oh my gosh, they sound so good, and like it was exactly how I kind of wanted them to sound. It was just that kind of sense of achievement, and just being so grateful that I had people to help me along with it, and who were so kind and supportive and accommodating to me. Supporting charities like Willow is incredibly important, because you're showing support for people who are in their darkest moments, really. A cancer diagnosis is, for most people, something that is, they dread, and when you're actually in that situation, I can't really explain what it feels like. It's just incredibly isolating and scary, and charities like Willow, who work to alleviate some of that pain and some of that scariness, are incredibly important to people's mental health and mental well-being. I think the work that you're doing is just amazing, because without that there would just be no kind of relief of the darkness that you're going through.